Sportsbit is powered by BetOnline, driving the opening odds market since 2001. Visit sportsbookreview.com to learn more about BetOnline and its A+ rated platform in the link below.
Recorded live from Las Vegas on a rare, rainy Tuesday morning, January 9th. This is Sportsbit, betting insight today from SBRpicks.com. On today's show, all the bad beats, bad bets, bad for the books from last night. We've got college hoops previews, Texas Tech and Oklahoma, A&M versus Kentucky. And let's not forget about the deep dive with Dave Mason from betonline.com. He'll discuss all the results from the weekend that just was, and we'll look forward to what's going to happen over the course of the next week or so. But let's get right into it with a national championship recap. Where does it start? It starts with the bad beat, of course. Yeah, there was a bad beat in the title game last night. Kickers. The Georgia-Alabama under goes crash and burn in overtime after Andy Papanastos, the transfer from Ole Miss, the senior Alabama kicker, with the chip shot at the end of regulation. He shanked it about a mile left. The poor kid. This is a senior, man. This kid could have walked off into the sunshine. Free beer for life, job offers, getting laid, everything. Just make the kick, kid. Hope it doesn't ruin your life. But then again, I didn't have a big bet on the under. Anyone that had a big bet on the under probably hopes it did ruin his life. Tough beat, obviously, in that one. The under, a clear right side loser for those who bet it. That's a bad beat. Talk about the game itself. I mean, how many coaches in college football have the guts to bench Jalen Hurts at halftime? And, of course, it's easy to say in retrospect, after the Frosh backup QB throws to the Frosh wide receiver for the game-winning touchdown in overtime. But not a lot of coaches have the guts to do that. We have to give Nick Saban some credit for a move that I didn't like when it happened and was baffled about as it first went down. Obviously, the backup QB, pretty darn good at chucking the football downfield. Alabama, the first preseason number one to finish number one since USC back in 2004. For the fourth time, teams from the same conference have finished 1 and 2 in the polls. The SEC got it done once again. They've been the only team to do it. And of course, I don't know if you were watching the ESPN news commentary. I had the regular feed on the first half. Second half, I watched the coaches. I thought it was pretty cool to hear David Cutcliffe. Two guys who impressed me were Cutcliffe and Fitzgerald. David Cutcliffe, all the other coaches in the room called him coach for a reason. Smart guys. And then, of course, if you watch Sumlin, Kevin Sumlin or Mike Gundy, you're like, yeah, I don't know if I want to play for these guys. Matt Luke seemed to be real happy to be in the room. But the bottom line is, you get a chance to watch some of these coaches talking in non-traditional press conference settings, give you a little insight on whether they get it or whether they don't. More bad beats last night. We had one under crash and burn in overtime. What about the Raptors Nets? Under 217.5. Goes 227 in OT. The final 40 seconds of the game, Dinwiddie hit a three. Then Crabbe goes to the hole. Alan Crabbe goes to the hole to erase the 5-point deficit in the final 40 seconds to send the game into overtime. Tough beat if you had the under in that one. You hate losing those in the extra session. One more from the association last night worth talking about. The Kings plus 5.5 versus the Spurs. They're leading the game throughout most of the fourth quarter. The score is 95-90 with 3:45 left. And then what happened to Sacramento? Hey, game on the line. Kings did not take a punch well. Spurs 17-5 closeout. They win 107-100. Kings plus 5.5 crashes and burns. And Pop, where does Pop find these guys? I mean, Davis Bertans. He's a second-year player out of Latvia, originally drafted back in 2011 by the Pacers in the second round. Who hit the key shots last night for San Antonio? Of course, it was Davis Bertans, back-to-back threes, backbreakers during that game-ending run that made Sacramento backers very unhappy. Bad beat. You had the Kings plus 5.5. Worth talking about Cavs and T-Wolves for a moment. Bad for the books. It was nothing but Minnesota money and certainly nothing but over money in that ballgame. The total bet from 219 up to 223 lands 226. The first two games with Isaiah Thomas in the starting lineup, the Cavs have now given up 127 each time in regulation. Last night, Minnesota had 100 field goal attempts and 17 free throw attempts without a single Cleveland steal. That's almost impossible to do. The Cavs only forced 5 turnovers, not much defensive effort at all since Isaiah returned to the floor. How about this one from LeBron James from ESPN Stats and Info? LeBron James finished at minus 39, the worst plus-minus in a game in his career. This is a game where the Cavs trailed 20-4 from the opener. Excuse me. The post-game quote from LeBron, I don't care about no damn plus-minus. I've won a game and had a bad plus-minus before, so what does that matter? I don't give a damn about no damn plus-minus. LeBron not amused. And, of course, wasn't his fault. I mean, there were 3 starters, Isaiah, J.R. Smith, and Kevin Love, combined to shoot 0 for 18 in the first half. Not LeBron's fault that all those guys were missing shots. The Cavs, worth noting from a point spread perspective, this team has now had their 7th double-digit loss of the season. By contrast, Cleveland, the championship contender, has only 7 double-digit wins on the season. They're not winning by margin. Big game breakdown coming up next. We've got a pair of watching wins in college hoops tonight. Stay tuned on Sportsbook.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now, we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.